Hello, back from the break, and this is Chris Quinlan here, Melbourne Musos here, the drum show, and what I'm doing tonight is a little bit of an episode on sticks, how they affect your playing, what stick, what tool for the job, you know. A few years ago I did a little ProMark segment on the Select Balance series, and the easiest way to describe the ProMark Select Balance series is like a set of golf clubs. Okay, you have a look at the song that you're doing in the studio, and you might need your 4-iron or your 5-iron or the 6-iron. You know, instead of it being 7A, 5A, 5B, 2B, which really makes no sense, does it? It's just, you know, they're the four main kinds of sticks, you know, for us drummers the world over. But they don't really make much sense, do they? 7. Why don't they just call it a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7? So that's what ProMark tried to do with are doing with their Select Balance sticks and all that. An old tradition is always hard to break, you know, and it's one of those things. So it takes a while. But if you just treat it like golf clubs. So what I'm doing here tonight is showing you a couple of different sticks, the way the tip of the stick affects a cymbal. So, you know, if you're using the wrong stick, say if you take a 2B, you know, that's great for, you know, heavy rock, but you take it to a small coffee lounge jazz gig, I don't know, you know, sort of thing. Depends. Could work. Depends. Just the coffee lounge has to be full of drummers, that's all. Anyway, but what goes on is that once you get the right stick, it may be that you choose the right cymbal, because if you're using the wrong stick for the gig, it'll make your cymbal sound different, which is what I explained last segment. It can make your drums sound different because you'll get more, a heavier stick will give you more bang for your buck if you need to, you know, project. About 25 years ago, I was using 5As and the odd 5B for different things. And I was just doing the local Melbourne gigs, and, you know, we only had, you know, 4 microphones for the drums, if that, and all that. And the typical gig where people come up and tell you, it sounded okay, but I couldn't hear any cymbals. You know, there was no overhead, or the overhead wasn't picking them up, the overhead microphone. So I thought, stuff this, I'll just go up, I'll bump up to 2B and start going whack. And it made a world of difference, okay? It gave more oomph to my playing for that particular band I was in. But then when I started the TV show, and, oh God help me, 22 years ago, the 2B wasn't quite doing it for all the different subjects I was doing on the show. So I just went to back to a 5B, and then to multi-sticks and all that sort of business with a mallet on the end, because one week I was doing classical stuff, next week I was doing jazz, the week after I was doing double bass drum and heavy metal, you know, that kind of thing. And that's one of the reasons why the kit's grown so stupidly big, is because one week I need that one, and next week I need that cymbal, and the week after I need that, and then I'm doing something else. Anyway, there's my excuse. But what I'm doing now is I'm just going to show you this beautiful stick, because it gives me a little bit of history to explain to you. I've been wanting to get my hands on this, this particular signature stick for a long time, and it wasn't available for a long time, it seemed to be, in Australia. And this is Dame Evelyn Glennie's signature drumstick. I'll go through the specs. It is 16 1/8 of an inch. The diameter is 630, so it's like a 2B. And the tip is wood with a barrel tip, okay? Sorry, I'll say that again, better English. The tip is wood and barrel, okay? So here we go. This is Evelyn Glennie's stick 740 ProMark, and what it is, it's got a lovely round tip, but a long taper. Okay, I've already had a bit of a ping, so there's a few bumps and grinds in that. And now I'm going to take that out. Now, the reason I'm enamoured with this stick, I only received it this morning, and The reason being is because of the lady herself. For those of you who don't know who Dame Evelyn Glennie is, she is a wonderful Scottish lady. She is profoundly deaf, and she has found a way to, through music and through percussion, to have this wonderful life, travelling the world, playing with orchestras. She has percussion symphonies written for her, you know, sort of thing. She's an incredible, strong woman on so many different levels. So I've been wanting to get these pair of sticks for a long time in my country, and now I have them. Now, what happens with this? They make me play a certain way. Now, the reason being, it might be, I don't know, what do they call it? Psychosomatic, acting insane. What it is that as soon as I say the name, I get influenced by her music. So I start thinking more in a kind of a classical kind of way, right? Rebound. Give back. Some sticks, if you're playing straight rock, you want a short taper, but they don't give you a lot of rebound. But that's okay if you're doing, say, doing lots of presses. I could keep going on with a little solo with this, but I won't, because I've got other sticks to show you. This is the Dame Evelyn Glennie ProMark Hickory Drum Stick. I'll get my little roving camera on it again. There they are. Focus. Thank you, camera. Here is the specs for you. I'll read them again. Dame Evelyn Glennie 740, length 16 1/8 inch, diameter 630, like a 2B up here. It's like a 2B, but it tapers right down to this beautiful little barrel tip. And as you can see, I'm enamored by it. I think it's a wonderful little stick, and it's put together by a wonderful lady. Okay. If you haven't heard of her before, go check her out. She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And this is one of those things that, what can you say about a lady like that who has one of the worst afflictions, like Beethoven going deaf, you know, an affliction where you lose your hearing for something that is your life, you know, is life itself. And she's able to overcome it through vibrations, feeling things, touch, and all her other senses just become so sharp as a result, you know, sort of thing, you know, success through adversity. And so this stick is special, okay? Dame Evelyn Glennie. I think I'm doing more of a plug for her than I am for the actual stick, but the stick itself is gorgeous. Please go out and try them. Go to the drum shop, say, where are they? If you haven't got them, why not? I want 20 pairs, thanks. There you go. Anyway, back after the break. That's the Dame Evelyn Glennie ProMark Drumstick. Hope you enjoyed this little segment of Melbourne Musos, the drum show. Back in a minute. Beat.